Everything for us, doing everything like everything ain't been too much. You know my favorite time to come for you is the clutch. Last second with a rush. I'm the type to talk to the stars. Straight up, these ain't tattoos, these are scars. My young thoughts will tell you when the witnesses are. Man, I swear my guy, Big Sean, be hitting all day long. My guys, my Facebook family, welcome. We're here on another good Tuesday afternoon. We're here going hard each and every day. If you don't know who I am, I'm Chaz Brazy, and I'm here with you today on this beautiful Tuesday for one reason only. It's about the message to give out today. A big message that I wanted to partake today is particularly your story, all right? And what you do on a daily basis will help you do those things in the fact of growing in your story, right? So what I mean by that is basically like, what have you been going through to get you where you are right now? And how are you overcoming maybe those trials and tribulations? And for myself, it's been just a journey learning myself, understanding that those things aren't just happening because, but they're happening because one reason only. It's because you are designed to go through those things because that's your particular path. And for you to overcome certain things, you have to go through things to understand why you're going through those things. You feel me? So it's a whole ordeal, and I have some special guests that I'm going to be having on today in a few minutes. Wait for them to hop on with me live. But you guys, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I have a YouTube channel, Chaz Brazy. I am icon, meaning you are your own icon, okay? And remember that. Shout out to StreamYard. My guys, they're giving me all the love on doing these live streams. Going to start doing these each and every week. So you guys stay tuned for that. It's a lot of new things going on over here. And one of those things is me learning that the journey is just beginning. Right. And for you guys, I definitely want to send the message that this is just your beginning of your story as well. Knowing what it is now can take you somewhere so far later. And I want to just really praise that today because that's how we're all going to be able to grow within yourself and in this society. Okay. And with everything going on, we got to stay positive. We got to stay together. And we got to unify. As you see, once all of us are on the same page, we can make things happen. We can make differences happen. So I, myself, welcome you guys to this channel. And today, for this lovely live that we're going to have, and this topic of today, again, is about the effects that you've been going through in your life and how have you overcome it. So my guy, actually one of our special guests is Tristian's in the house. We're going to add him to this chat. We're going to add him to this conversation because at the end of the day, we all have things we want to talk about. We all have trials and tribulations that we all go through individually. So understanding each and every person that you stand by may be going through something that you have no idea about. And I kind of want to, it's my first time meeting Tristian, so let me get him in here. I'm super excited to meet him and I'm just eager to get him on screen. So let's do it. What's going on, Tristian?
What's going on? Nice to meet you.
What's up? We might have a little
enjoying the weather today, you know?
Yeah, that's good. Where are you out coming out of?
I'm on Cape, so like south of Boston.
Boston, okay,
yeah,
my Boston. Wow. You're actually one of the first people I met from Boston, so I'm happy to see you.
Yep. Gotta represent, you know?
Yeah. And I'm super excited to meet you, man. I've been hearing so many great things about you. And it's not only a surprise that my guy Vlad knows somebody like yourself, because I peeped, you're very into kind of the mindset of things, and the topic of today is how certain things affect us, and what we do as far as making decisions wise. And I'm super excited to hear from you and my guy Vlad that we're gonna add to this conversation as well. He's in the stream. Let's get him in here. What's going on, my man? Hey, can I hear you? Can I hear you? I think I can hear you. There you go. There you go. There it is. Let's get it spread out. What's going on, my guys? So Vlad, where are you coming out of it again?
Boston.
Yes, my boys are from Boston. Boston boys. I love it. Oh, somebody might have an echo.
My car.
There you go. Because I be hearing myself, and that would be so weird. Yeah. But I'm super excited to have this conversation with you guys. We've been talking about this for a while now, and I'm just happy it's happening. And again, today's topic is basically how can certain things affect us and the decision making we do, the journey we continue going on. For myself, I just be real with you guys. Like, it's been crazy 2020. Like, mentally, really, not even like, everything else. It's just ain't here has been nuts. And I definitely want to hear from you guys. Like, is that the same type of effect? Like, how do you feel like throughout this year? That's what I want to ask you guys. Like, how has this year really affected you guys?
I guess I'm gonna go first. For me, with the whole 2020 pandemic situation, it affected me, yes, but I think it affected me in a good way, because I found myself more, you know what I mean? And I was able to avoid traffic all summer. That's how I met Tristan. I used to. It's funny how we met. We actually met at a beach.
Yeah.
But, this was all during 2020, right? I met my man Tristan up there, and it's incredible who you meet out there if you just just say fuck it to the status quo. Excuse me, my language, but it's just what it is. Just stay status quo and be out there. Don't listen to the news. You should be sharpening your blades every single day. You should be reading every single day, whether you have a job or outside of a job or you're unemployed. It doesn't matter, right? Always. Benjamin Franklin says a quote. It says, self-education pays the best interest, and that's so true. It doesn't matter what you invest in. At the end of the day, you have to invest into education, into yourself, whether you're in college or outside. So 2020 was a real eye-opener. I learned a lot. I'm part of a venture which Chaz, we gotta let the people know we have AI, artificial intelligence trading on our side. So that's been amazing, setting that up and helping other people set that up. And it's just been a blessing. It's been a blessing. And I don't know, what do you got to say to that about Tristan, man?
Spoken beautifully, man. But for real, someone as myself, I'm a very active person. I love building yourself always. Yourself always comes first in life. And for me, 2020, the lockdowns happened and everything kind of shut down, going crazy. And for me, I'm someone who has my hand in like 5 different baskets, working on projects. Actually, something that Vlad shared yesterday on his IG was great about Virgil, the creator of Off-White and now works for Louis Vuitton. He was saying that no one person should work on one thing alone. You should be in like 5,000 different things at once, always reading, always learning something else and different projects. And that really stuck with me during 2020. I'm someone who I'm doing many different things in life and trying to accomplish different goals always. And I think that really speaks to what you have to do nowadays.
Facts. And I love it. And that's my guy, Virgil. I went to the in Atlanta. It was lit.
Yeah.
Those words is really spoken from a true genius, I tell you that. And honestly, and I love that everybody on his call kind of understands the worth of multiple things on your plate are actually a blessing, because sometimes people just get complacent on one topic and you're like, yo, this is
Yeah.
easy. Like, bro, what are you
Right.
doing? Like, why are you not spread yourself out in other things? Somebody not just gonna like to go run. Someone's gonna probably like to run and probably play soccer too. Or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be able to be diverse in a lot of things that you have going on in your life. If in today's world, you have to be, because you're gonna be left behind, bro. And then it's all worth the while of the stress of kind of learning different things, because once you learn it, it's over, it's done. And
Absolutely.
I tell you this, what I've learned, a big one this year, is the mental state of yourself and how you grow and things of that nature. But how can you grow emotionally within your mentality of spirituality? And I want to ask you guys, like, for myself, as you see, it's like sentimental music playing in the background. I'll be having just like affirmation videos just playing, because as far as my environment, I need to have like a lot of things to continuously remind me of how to stay positive and how to keep my emotions in a good state of mind and all of that. So I want to ask you guys, what are certain things that you do that maybe are like rituals that you have now that you stay doing constantly to keep your mental, keep your emotional level, stressed down? What are those things? I started with you, Vlad.
All right, hell yeah. For me, it all depends on how I start my day and end my day. I've experimented with a lot of different stuff, whether it's like falling asleep to affirmations, like I've done that. Like I do that. I feel like, you can never get too much of it, to be honest with you, because it doesn't matter if it's in the background, if it's still playing where you're awake, because we're all in that alpha sleep stage when we're just waking up still. So our subconscious is like a tank, it's still taking in a lot of stuff, but we may not be aware of it. So for me, it's how I start my day and end my day. So the way I start my day, I have like 7 different questions, and it's not good. You should have it written out. I'm still bad on this because I still have it on my phone, these 7 questions here. So as soon as I wake up, it's like not good because you're still opening up your phone, and you got to have a little bit of discipline on that, but it's better to just take away the phone and have it written down. But the 7 questions that I have, is, what am I most happy about in my life? So that's the first thing I ask myself. Second is, what am I most excited about in my life? Third is, what am I most proud of in my life? Fourth is, what am I most grateful for in my life? 5 is, what am I enjoying the most in my life right now? 6 is, what am I committed to in my life right now? And 7, who do I love and who loves me? Now, those are the 7 questions I ask in the morning, right? And then I do a quick workout for about 45, 60 minutes. And then at night, I ask the same 7 questions. And I have a routine. I used to like to have like, warm tea or something like that, a little bit of dessert after dinner type stuff. And the last questions in the evening, I would say, what was great about today? What did I love about today? In what way did I give today? What did I learn today? How did my day improve today? What did I do to get closer to my goals? What skills or what person do I need to connect with for a better day tomorrow? And those are the questions I ask myself. Like, that's it. It's simple as that, because it puts it all into perspective. Like, what are you grateful for? You start to wake off on a better mood, and you start to take your day on with an intention. And intention is very key. What's your intention every day?
Exactly. Yeah, I ask myself when, like, off topic, but when I'm like doing certain things, like whether I'm talking to somebody on the phone, my wife or whoever, even the dog, like, what are my intentions on what am I trying to do right now? Like, that's my new question all the time now. But yes, I love that, bro. I'm gonna need those questions, my guy.
For sure. Yeah, I'd love to share it.
I like that.
I like that. It's a sick idea, man.
For
Hell
real.
yeah. Yeah, I'll pass it off to Tristan, my man. Yeah, but how do you start your days? What's your rituals? And if there's anything that I'm missing on that one, Chaz.
Yeah, no, you got
For
it.
me, it's actually goes back to, I used to not do a lot when I was, not growing up, but like getting there, like 17, 18. I used to not like care so much. So until I saw an interview with actually The Rock, actually Dwayne Johnson. He was saying, he was speaking on, we only have 24 hours in a day. I only sleep 5, and I thought that was crazy. I was like, there's no way. So every morning now, I get up, I run. I don't bring my phone. I don't have music. I just run. It's just me and myself and nature. I always find a nice spot just to go somewhere every day. and hit a nice jog, hit a nice run. It doesn't have to be long or stressful, just something to get out. And then I always make breakfast, and then I hit a workout. And those hours of the day are always to myself, because I can't stress enough, like, self importance and actually building oneself to grow from that. And then to feed onto that, after I usually check in with family. I'm always checking in with family, making sure everyone's good before I start doing what I gotta do. And if anything comes up, then I have to handle that first. But um, before that, I usually just check in with my younger sister at college, my younger brother at college, and make sure they're all right, and my mom and my dad. And then I start my day and go about my work. And usually, I always listen to at least one podcast a day too. I like to do that. I think it's very informative, especially when you're driving. People, sure, jam out to music, but nice podcast here and there doesn't hurt. So just small things like that I think you can tune to actually make your day that much better.
I love it. I love it, man. I like to add to that, like the videos and like listening into like audio books and everything like that. Shout out to Dante Lewis. If you guys don't know him, he'll be on one of these live streams very soon, so stay tuned for that one. But he definitely gave me some insight on like audiobooks. I just read, I never really listened to a book before. So that was a new thing. I was like, let me just have it playing in the background every day for like 20 minutes or whatever, just listening. And honestly, bro, I still can't get with the mornings, bro. I cannot do it. Like, I don't know what's wrong with my brain. Like, it won't make me wake up at 6 and 5, and I wake up at 7. That's the earliest I've been doing it on a daily basis. But the thing about also is that it's a lifestyle. Like, you guys name lifestyle changes. It's not like we're never gonna do those things. Never again. It's rituals. It's things you do daily. And you can't pass it because you feel weird, right? You feel weird if you don't do those things. So I commend you guys on those. I'm definitely going to add that 5 a.m. to my goal list.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love it.
It helps.
It just adds more time to your day. Even me waking up 7, I'll be like, yo, this morning long as heck. So I can only imagine if I wake up a little earlier, right? And I want you guys to know, like the viewers, like it's not just gonna happen overnight. Like you're not gonna just want to wake up at 5. You actually have to understand, like, you want to make this decision or not. Like, you're gonna do it or not. Like, what do you want to do? So creating rituals are not just writing down things. Like, this is stuff that will help you on a daily basis grow yourself mentally, physically, like you guys work out, and educationally, because what are we doing to learn something new every day, right? So I believe everyone should do something like that. So shout out to you guys, really. Like, that's really good. And I also wanted to touch bases, like, since you guys are always in tune with what's going on in your life, like, I want to ask, that wasn't always like that, right? I can ask that, like, you guys probably learned this very recently, right? Maybe a few years ago or so. And I want to ask, what really made you decide that, these rituals I'm doing now will benefit me later? Like, what affected you on making these decisions on doing these rituals? Like, what really was that breaking point that said, like, I need to do this every day for me to be successful? What was that moment for you? Start with you, Tristian, my man.
All right. I would say that moment was probably when I didn't go, or I actually went to college for a year and then I dropped out. And I spoke to Vlad about this too. And I didn't like, so I always grew up with a family of parents that love me. I'm very fortunate for that. So growing up, it was like really weird, and it was always go to school, go to college, right? And I was in college, and I'm at this point where I didn't want to go. I was like, I'm just depressed. I'm not feeling well. I'm sick. I don't want to go. And one of my friends was like, hey, I'm gonna go travel. Like, I want you to come with me. And I was like, sure. Like, at the time I didn't have any motivation, right? And then once I was there, we kind of sat down and kind of looking at the world, that it's just so big that you don't, like, people sometimes you forget. And it's like, in that moment I was like, wow, like, I really want to do something here. I really want to, like, make an impact with people, not even my life, but other people's lives. Like, if I meet someone, they said they had a better day because of it, like, that's the end goal for me overall through everything. And I always preach that, and I always preach kindness and respect first over everything. And that was probably the turning point for me. I definitely have to say, like, after leaving college, I was home all day. My friends were at work or college doing their own thing, and it seemed like everyone was ahead of me. But once I stopped comparing myself to other people in that aspect, that's when I really started to grow too. And I was with my friend. It was me and him. I just hanging out in Europe together. We were in this house in Greece, and I was just like, I don't got a lot of money right now, and like I was kind of bummed out, and I was like, you know what, that's not what it's all about. I'm with my best friend right now, and I can't compare myself to someone else because they had it differently. As I'm sure both of you, we don't walk the same life. It's very different, and that was it for me. So what about you, Vlad?
Because
Yeah.
we kind of do though. We kind of want the same life, bro.
True.
Like we all gonna be, brother. We here. Come
here,
on.
Yeah.
That's so true. Yeah, for me, my when I went to school, right, my intention as a kid, I always wanted to be a fighter pilot. If you notice the posters behind me, yeah, I always wanted to be a pilot. Always wanted to be a fighter pilot. I was inspired by Tom Cruise's movie Top Gun. I was inspired by a lot of James Bond films. I was inspired by a lot of like military war movies, like Saving Private Ryan, Black Hawk Down. Band of Brothers, and like the Pacific. Like I love war thrillers. I just do, right? And so I was exposed to that as a kid, and so I was like, man, I want to be in the military. I either want to be a fighter pilot or a sniper, like one of those two. And so I was full on with that. Like high school, I was on a pistol team. Nationally ranked in the country as an offhand pistol shooter. So I shot 25-meter air pistol, 25 and 50-meter sport pistol, and I shot a little bit of the NRA rounds too, which is a slow fire, rapid fire, and timed fire. Actually, it was slow fire, timed fire, then rapid fire. So I was nationally ranked, in those, and so. Then I went to high school. I went to a private high school. I played a lot of sports, like wrestling, football, while still participating in shooting. And then, taking classes and whatnot. Then I went to Naval Sea Cadets. Naval Sea Cadets was like a youth military, a naval program, for kids before they actually go into the real Navy. Because obviously, you got to be over a certain age, right? So I did that. I attended it, and that's when I was like, I don't know, because this right here is interesting for me. Yeah, I didn't really, I felt like I was being basically brainwashed, essentially. Like I know, like I respect all the service people out there. Like everyone has a purpose, but for me, this was that turning point. I had to make a decision. Did I want to continue my life in the military and serve as in the military, or should I serve in another way? And so I was like, okay, well, I really wanted to fly. I'm a pilot, so in order for me to get to Pensacola Flight School, I'd have to go to Naval Academy, and then attend another 4 year of flight school, and then another 4 year of Top Gun school. It's all of that. And so I was like, okay, let me go into the general aviation, right? So I went to Bridgewater State University. Throughout that whole time, I was the type of kid to Google, how do I become a millionaire? Because I saw my money start to go down, 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 down. And I was valeting for 4 years, and I was like, that doesn't make sense. I put in so much time to valet, and I'm making no money to live on my own. What is going on? And so that's when I had to realize, like, I need to be around money. I need to attract wealth into my life. Like, what do I do? Like, it's I need to get closer to the paper. And at a time, I guess you could say it was like I was at a point where I was like, I don't care. I'm going to follow the money. Where's the money at? So I started to realize, real estate was it. Anything in the financial world, like anything, like whatever you want to be, but as long as you're around money, that's good. And so I remember I took this trip to China. And, that's when I'm like giving you a whole life story here real quick, but this is a big turning point. Like, this is where it all like shifted, right? And so for me, Shanghai, I went to Shanghai. I saw the financial district out there.
Oh, your mic went out.
Oh, hello?
Yeah, there we go.
There you are.
Okay. Yeah. And so, I went to Shanghai, and Shanghai was when like I was like, this is it. I need to be a trader. I need to be involved in investing some way, somehow. And so I went to so many network marketing meetings. I went to so many other business opportunity meetings. And finally, somebody came up to me with something with Forex. And I was like, okay, I guess I'll do it. Right. And so with Forex, I started to learn, I started to learn because I knew a couple people that made like significant wealth. Like I remember hearing stories of George Soros, like I didn't know what they did until now when I started to get involved with it. Right. And so I started to learn. I was like, whoa, this topic is really interesting. And so, that's when I started to, that's it. I decided like, this is it for me, right? This is it. I'm gonna go in and, 4 years later, we're here, we're here. And that's an absolute blessing because now that I know the skill set, I'm able to pass that on with other people. Now, trading is it's like teaching somebody, off the street how to play professional soccer or professional NFL football. Like, you really have to be surrounded with greats. You really have to put in that time, that training to do that. And so that's when I found out that, I like to live a free life. I knew that I'm very creative. I'm also, I also like to work out of love. I love a lot of people. I really do. Like, and, some people always say it's like, Vlad, you trust too many people. It's like, well, be careful with that word, right? I love a lot of people, but that doesn't necessarily mean I trust a lot of people. I always keep a distance until that vibe is right, it's always, there's two people in your life. They're either somatic, I believe somatic friendship and a giving friendship. There's like a somatic is like it's like, excuse me, it's a giving friendship, so it's exchange of value, and then there's also a parasitic relationship where somebody's just constantly taking.
Yep.
So that's where my life changed when I decided like, wow, I could actually, investing, that's what you have to do. You have to be in an industry where you can invest large sums of money and be able to leverage, right?
Yeah.
Because we come from a background where, at least I don't, my family, we don't come from much, right? And so they don't even have they only have a 401k policy, right? And so if that, right? And it's up for us, it's up for me to be able to make that decision to learn all the hard shit, really hard shit, like how finances, right? It's not appealing, it's definitely not, but you have to. There's a quote that my mom recently told me because I was explaining some things to her. She said, "Деньги любят счет." That's in Russian, right? She's Russian. We're all Russian. "Деньги любят счет." That means money loves to be counted. Money loves to count. So the person who knows how to count money, the money's going to become attracted to you, right? That it's like that meme, if you ever saw it, where there's a cat and you can't chase a cat or it's going to run away from you. You got to have something that's going to attract the cat to you, and it's going to want to be with you and cuddle with you. So that's the same thing with money. It's like an energy, and I'm slowly starting to get into that kind of like, okay, understanding that, yeah, this is tough, this takes a lot of time, but I got to understand the end goal in mind at the end of the day. So that was my turning point, so that was, that's kind of like a life story slash turning point. But look.
Real talk though, because that's real. And to be honest, it's crazy how your path to like understanding what you are desired to do in life was like totally different than mine, bro. He went to Shanghai first. What? Like,
Yeah.
okay, my man traveling before he was awake. Like, that is crazy to me, but that's dope. Like, I wish I had that path. Had a whole nother type of path for me, but that's the beauty about our lives, right? Like, we all go through different things for us to learn and understand our real true purpose. And I want to ask you guys, real question, guys. This is the money maker here, because I myself have been asking this question for years, and it becomes more clear and clear every single day, because it like a dream. We dream of things, and you go to sleep, you start really dreaming of those things in detail, and you wake up and realize that maybe that dream is not reality, but you live it as if it is there right then and there, right? And you guys, I want to know what you see yourself doing in the next maybe 2 months or 6 months or 2 years. What do you guys see yourself doing? Like, from you learning your awakeness, and you going through trials and mental and understanding your rituals, like now you are in a settled position. where do you see yourself going? Like for real, where do you see yourself going, Tristian?
Well, for me, I actually in 10 years. So I want to do real estate investing, and that's my huge thing. I know Vlad and I have talked about this before, and of course stocks and investing. Two big things that Vlad touched on that I preach with him as well. And I see myself owning some. I want to own apartment complexes. I want to at least own one complex in each city, whether that's whether I have 3 in 10 years or I have 5 in 10 years. I want at least three in one in each major city, but starting with three. That and I actually want to show my sister and my brother the world. I think Vlad and I are both very lucky where I can't speak to you because I don't know you that well, but we travel a lot. Like this whole COVID thing happened, and I took my sister and my brother. We went and we quarantined for a little bit down in Miami. I know that sounds like people are like freaking out and stuff, but it really is. Like, I mean, Vlad, you went to Costa Rica, Vlad. I saw that,
Yeah.
and it's like at the end of the day, we were in Airbnbs all by ourselves. Like, and I think the other thing is, don't let the world like hinder what you want to do in life, right? This pandemic's going on, yes, like that's a very serious thing. But I mean, Vlad and I have both spoken to. I mean, I've been to LA. I went to the marches in LA. I went to Seattle during quarantine. I went to and then just Miami just now. So it's like I'm staying safe. I'm still
Boy,
safe, test negative,
traveling.
but yeah, and I
Thanks.
want to show my sister and my brother that. And once
Yeah.
the wealth comes in, I want to pay their college debt as well. You know, and of
Wow.
course pay for my mom's house. Of course the big one on the list, take care of mom's first. But I do
Oh,
want to show my sister and my brother the world. I want to walk arm in arm with them and show them what experiences are outside of the US are like. I really do.
okay. That's what's up. I want to ask. I mean, since I kind of made it clear, you guys aren't from the United States. Where you guys originally from, man?
I'm from here. Most of my dad's side of the family was from Sweden though. And
Oh,
he
guys.
came here. He fought for the Navy. Actually, he was a captain of an oil tanker in the Navy. And after that, he ended up fighting a long battle with Alzheimer's. So rest in peace. But he taught me a lot. I actually went to Sweden to go see where he like kind of grew up, and that was like eye opening for me too. But ever
Oh,
since then, I've seen the world through a different outlook. I know Vlad. I think your family is Russian, so you were saying that, but
Yeah.
well, beautiful. I love that. I love that, man. For sure, traveling the world is definitely key in my certain
oh
goals.
yeah,
So, hey, you guys kind of got to
treat
hold on
yourself.
with that one. We're going to connect, travel buddies.
Right.
But my man Vlad, give me some insight on your journey, man. Where you see yourself going? Where you got some plans? What do you think? What's going on, man? Tell me some.
Hell yeah, it's not too far from Tristan's, but my end goal is what I see myself doing is running an investment firm. It's having a fund, because what I've learned is that you want to be able to have money work for you. And if you have a specialty in that, if you have a skill in that, people, you put yourself valuable. So now that allows you to have other people's capital work, because not only are you creating an income for yourself, you're also creating an income for other people too, and people will respect you more, right? And I think that's essentially like my end goal right there, is just having my fund, and then also building an organization, having an organization within this company that I'm currently part of, Bavaria Prime, which is doing phenomenal, right? I always believe that you have to be in front of you got to be ahead of a curve. You got to see something before other people see it. And so, a company that's what we've been part of. I think it's I just feel my being and seeing myself in it for the long haul. And it's beautiful. And that, with that being said, it's like you're meeting people that can put you onto things you never thought of. So, for example, the organization that I'm building, I have different types of power people in my spot. I have somebody that I'm about to bring on, who does cryptocurrency arbitrage trading. I have somebody that does real estate investing. Matter of fact, I have multiple people that do real estate investing, including Tristan, right?
Yeah.
You know, and then, you know, I have traders, right? We know some of them. Jason Stewart is there. You know, my brother Wenz Mathurin. You know, these guys, you know, you don't always see them live in action sometimes, but there are some heavy hitters in this world, and it's really about networking and connecting, and you'll never know who you know until you go ahead and go out of your way to know them. So I'm really big on the, you know, a fund sounds so complicated, but it's essentially that, you know, you're pooling people's money into an account to have that invested. And that's really what it is. Of course, you need to get licensed and registered for that, but that's all a work in progress. You know, it's I'm willing to absolutely put in the time, because it's only going to make me better. It's only going to make me sharper, you know? So that's really my end goal there.
I love it, man. And definitely gotta talk to you guys about real estate for sure.
Hell yeah.
Definitely a goal of mine for sure. That's something that I see myself working in the near future as well. Just have a desire of luxury homes and things of that nature, and building, you know, all of that. So that's definitely a big one in my books. And it's not just about one thing, guys. And I want you guys to know, like, the people watching right now, and whoever's watching later, you guys have to understand, like, the process of you doing those things, or those things that you desire. There's a certain steps you do those things, right? Me finding something such as what he mentioned earlier, Aurora Prime, has given us not only the tools to be financially free to go do those other things, but it also connect us with people that we can potentially do business with in the future. And that's why I just so heartily give them my heart, and I see long-term longevity with them as well, Vlad and Tristan. And you guys, I want to ask you for sure, within this industry that we're in and the things that you guys do on a daily basis, I want to ask you, what could you give the message out to people that are watching right now that may think that the dreams that they're seeing and the dreams that they're envisioning for themselves is not too late, and it's not going to be just given to you overnight? So I want to ask, what is that message that you would give somebody that is maybe struggling and wants to do these certain things, but just feel as though they're at a stop point, or just don't feel like they can get there? What is that message that you can give them?
Who should go?
Dang, it's just like, which one? I'll go with my man Tristan. Oh, Tristan.
Hey.
Well, for me, you know, and plus being in that situation once where I didn't know what to do. Like I said, I listen to a lot of motivational speeches too. I mean, E.T., Eric Thomas, you know, a great guy, went through a lot. But I think don't compare yourself to other people, honestly, and don't let this world hinder you in what you want to do. Like I was speaking on with traveling, like me and Vlad are still doing these things and stuff like that. And don't be nervous. Also, I think, to be you. Right? Don't let, like, someone laughing at you. Who cares, right? At the end of the day, if you don't want to know that person, you don't have to know that person. And always open yourself up to opportunities. I would say that's another big one too. I mean, like I said, I met Vlad on a beach, right? I met Vlad on a beach, and that night we broke bread and had drinks and ate dinner together, you know. And it's just crazy that now we're still talking. We still probably talk, I'd say, on a weekly basis, almost daily basis, and we're still making sure we're good, you know. And it's like, it's connections like that you never knew in life unless you open yourself to other people and you actually say, hey, I can learn something from everyone.
Yeah.
You know, good or bad, I can always learn something from everyone. And you gotta be willing to do these things, and you gotta say to your brain, like, because I know it's hard in the morning, you know, you don't want to wake up, you know, you're like, oh, this bed's so comfy, what if I just stay here all day? It's like, you gotta, I count down, man. I count down 3, 2, 1. Once I hit 1, I'm out and up. You just gotta find those little things that work for you. You know, some things that work for some people don't always work for others. But for me, it's don't compare myself, open myself up to other people, and always find the why in life. Why am I doing this? This is why, and I'm gonna show you why.
Yes, sir. And crazy how you say that too. You know, always be able to learn from another, right?
Yeah.
I was told by some great wise men in my life that, you know, if the person next to you is making more money, then that person should be talking majority of the time, because you're draining them with questions. You're asking, how did you do this and that for me to be able to be in your same position? you humble yourself. You then have to also know that the person next to you may have information that you don't even know, whether they're richer than you or not. Sometimes someone knows something in this world that you do not know.
Correct.
Point blank. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, we're always going to be learning. So that's just the humbleness that you have to go around in your life. I feel as though that will make a big difference as well. So I love that, man. I love that. My guy Vlad, what you got?
Oh man, Motivation Mondays, I always have my videos end off with three things, right? Number one, I would say, and this is before like encompassing all the 3 points I'm about to mention. There are some people that you explain these things to and they don't feel the need to do it because it just seems so easy to do, right? So yeah, it sounds really easy. But if you do this every single day, you're going to see an impact, right? And so, you got to have a motivation to do this, right? Because some people, there are people out there that just don't get up in the morning and write their things down. They don't get up in the morning and say grace, or be thankful. So I think you got to have something that pushes you. And with that being said, when you start feeling that push, it's just being exposed to different things, things that scare you. You got to be scared, sometimes a healthy scared to where you're nervous. So the first thing would be, it's essentially to see the end in mind. Where do you want to be? How do you see yourself as? And then, just picture yourself there, right? If you close your eyes, where do you see yourself? Like, who are you? What are you wearing? What cars are you driving? What's on your wrist? What's your jewelry? Do you have any jewelry on you? Like, are you wearing shades? And you want to be able to feel that stuff and feel where you want to be at. It's crazy because I went to Costa Rica, and one of my 90-day goals was to reward myself. So that trip was actually a reward, which is insane, and I always pictured a house, and always still look at it, is to own a house with an infinity pool overlooking a cliff into a beachfront. I was in Costa Rica and I experienced that. And I was like, man, you see, manifestation is real. You just gotta just do it on a daily basis. Doesn't matter how big or small, you have to feel proud, like, wow, I really worked hard for this, So that's number one, is see the end in mind. Feel where you want to be, like literally feel it. It takes like a couple of minutes. If you have to put on meditation music, do it. Like, feel where you're at. Number two is write it down, write everything down. I always get into the habit of now writing everything down. If I don't have a pen, I'm probably going to take either a voice note or a write it on my notes on my phone. So writing down is a really good habit, and every 90 days is key. Like, why 90 days? Because life is cyclical. You have 3 seasons. Well, you have 3 months in a season. Essentially, it's like very like frequency based. It's all numbers based, but 90 days is very key if you want to see some stuff change. My number 2 is write it down. So I write down my 90-day goal. That's first and foremost. And then finally, I write a letter to myself. You can screw everything else, but just do a simple thing like write a letter to yourself. Talk to that person that you are in 90 days and congratulate them. Hey, like if I was writing to myself, I'd say, congratulations, Vlad Limvronsky, man, you have achieved so on, so forth, et cetera, et cetera. Whatever you is in your 90-day goal plan, write those achievements out as if they're already completed, and then fold it up and put it somewhere where you're gonna, remember where it's gonna be at. And then at 90 days, open that up and compare what you've actually been through, and analyze like what you hit and what you missed, and see why you hit certain things and why you missed certain things. I recently done this after the Costa Rica trip. I looked at my letter, I opened it up, and it's funny because I have income goals there too, but I've experienced everything on that list, but I haven't reached that income level yet. And if you understand Bob Proctor, Earl Nightingale, it's the feeling is the secret, right? Once you feel it, you start to attract that abundance and wealth to you, right? So that's number 2, is write it down. Write a letter to yourself 90 days in advance. And then finally, number 3 is just repeat daily habits. Understand what you're doing in a day. Like Tristan said, you only have 24 hours. And in those 24, you're already sleeping 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 hours sometimes. So that's right there off the table. So now you got to make use of the rest of those hours and understand what you're doing, who you're going to speak to. And, you know, a recent thing that I just heard, which I'll add to, is, you know, if you value your time at $100 an hour and you were on YouTube or on your phone for 2 hours, 3 hours, right? It's like you're already wasting $200. You know, when I thought about that, I'm like, man, like shit. If I go to an employer and say, yo, look, I'm not gonna accept anything unless it's $1,000 an hour. People laugh, but then you go home and it's like, are you really worthy of $1,000 an hour? Because you're wasting like 3 to 4 hours just scrolling through nonsense. You know, that's why you're not attracting anything, right? And it's a progress, it's a work in progress. It's a work in progress, you know? And you know, it's always, we never find a purpose. We're always seeking. We're always seeking a purpose. And it's always cultivating and growing, you know, just like life. Cells always divide all the time. So you know, we're always expanding. And so those are the top three things. Just, you know, number one is have the feeling of yourself in mind, you know, of who you want to be. Number two is write it all out, you know, write a letter to yourself, a 90-day letter to yourself. And finally, number three is just essentially practice daily habits and take use of your time.
Got you. Sheesh. I got some nuggets today. So, I hope most of those folks that are watching live and that are watching now got some great value out of that. Thanks you guys, Tristian and Vlad, for being up here. You guys, I want to also, you know, share with you a little bit of note of what he just said. Really, Vlad, it was like real talk. You spoke to me because in the end, you know, you checked off most of your stuff, right? But yet you didn't check off the income part yet. And I want to say with that, most people think that's the first thing you check off. And it's like, no, actually, it's the experiences. It's the journey that you take for you to be able to attract whatever money goal or, you know, type of lifestyle goal that you have. Because you will never attract what you want unless you learn how to get it. And how you get it is through your mental and your subconscious attracts that to your life, right? And so you have to continuously visualize yourself living a certain way. And it's crazy, bro. It really is a difference of awareness in your life, your energy towards the things in your day-to-day activities. And, you know, for me, that was a huge one, especially this year with, you know, a lot of people going through a lot and understanding like life isn't promised tomorrow. And so just knowing that little part, that day-to-day hour basis is like $3,000, $100,000 an hour, bro. And that's how you have to look at it, because if you don't, you're gonna waste your days. You're gonna wonder why I'm still in the same position 5 years from now. Because you treat those hours like you were getting paid. You know what I'm saying? That was a great one. Because, like, yo, I know people don't think of their life like that. I know. So for us to give that message, hopefully they get it, bro, and they understand how powerful that really could be. Those three things are very powerful on a day-to-day basis. So thank you, Vlad. Thank you, Tristian, for those nuggets as well. And I wanted you guys to also shout out your IGs. Tristian, where can we follow you at?
It's actually my name, Tristian Abrahamson, all one word. No spaces, no capitals.
Got you. Bet. And my boy Vlad, I want to mention, you guys, if you don't, you know, get your motion back on Monday because you guys had such a long weekend and y'all turning out, my man, on Monday mornings or actually afternoons, well, wherever you're tuning in, it depends. But he be having motivational Mondays to get your mind right. And I utilize those to learn new things. So go ahead, tell them where they follow you at, Vlad.
Heck yeah. Well, I spelled my name wrong in the backstage over here, but it's a VRONSKY. So it's the, you know, it's the N before the S. And then you can follow me on IG at Vladdy V. Well, that's with 2 Ds. So that's me right there. Everywhere you find me, I'm Vladdy V. So, you know, Instagram, well, my Twitter is different. I don't really use Twitter too much. Instagram is really like that main source, and you can find me on Facebook too. So that's where everyone can find me.
Bet. I love it. My boys, he gotta go back to spelling his name right, y'all. He gotta go back to spelling. But It's all good. We know where to find you, my guy. Thanks again for being on here, guys. And for those that don't know, subscribe so you can be notified for these type of calls each and every week. You guys will continue to stay giving you guys content and more things to learn how to grow yourself mentally, businessly, and emotionally. Okay, so maybe not businessly, but business minded. Okay, guys. All right. So, but I want you guys to know that I appreciate you guys. We're on new strides, and I want to see you guys at the top because we all know what's at the bottom, ain't it? Okay, so let's
Right.
get it. Love
Yeah.
you guys. Talk to you guys soon. Thanks for tuning in.
See ya.